lang Salvador mal total mergo ma adra media me kumu mal ayamar at press conference wal wa me udarse el normal temel wa kel mal go lo necessary the joiner silvela or tial conference tilul mure al tutau Salvador o si sul timing نساعد الباي مطمق نغمة سنة بريزيدنت فايس بريزيدنت سنة فايس سبيكر لسيون ينايويت تيغال ديليجيت سلملو سبا مامل مطمق يجيم لو تلمرال لودرسيا congratulations سرغمامل مورتيغال سيلفيلاو تيا مو 26 moment 26 time الهوستر تيا conference ar Silvelau reporter tira OOT Cambes lo asemblamo 29 el resolutions alodar el mera Olbiil klulau ma executive branch el seltal bol mrega el gora ngaria meeting tir en area gel luldersir el gire la change ra policy maluben uldasol molla maluben gora ungil issue el gire la qabelment tergid mo 29 times el blabol motmok la ayegi del issues adirek el sebe del waseng ngaria amleungil advice amleungil involvement tertigal silvela ol ngaringi tiklutlo terma megim extendra amal real del congratulations el mortir of course the mutiarte alle dosusra rubugul vela Salvador mar silvela era kukul mutelte al mos iloren sergit kada smala bebira torte al press conference sergi mlaringi akoteng edel luldasol molla Salvador lo se el pasa Olbiil klulau regal la mombrek klubsei special session sertir atablo regal ledel bil la masao del girela aurerela qabalment el mo marrob mo makringel قبل سلا وسبق الليلة مكينة الغار ما أطرو الليلة مكينة الغار ما ومغار عبيل الأم توتاقلي ورا غورت بول ناس عبيل الغاوم بولاغ الغورا دي بيوت اللي سبقهم الموت الحرار سيلبيل بيرابلو قد دريك ملامس لو سيل تايم الغار بلو هذا لونغي رغرغري لغار يار وقت دريك الموت رويبترا أوشيسيو الأمرو أيغانا بول داخل تبلو المعلق ان ديريك المال كلوابول الرولي من مالمو بينغل مرينغلا قلب سنيل ما بالسيلا هذا النيا ولا بمكيت الغار مالو بنقوم داسل الترا مكيت الغار يجي ابارترا اونتريرا دي المسيل بلاو مر ادر بلاو الملامو ميسل واسيال سوم قد مرال مولدا لاقرتيال تغورا مكيت الغار ingire der ruli mal mopting la tokul tokorngi ma adamo o girel lomdasul kamangat mol lo asetial boguru ringia sebel mal tomelia kamangat klangar ngara blulad ayegil tablo Olbiil Salvador amlo sebel sainer madrira ar silvelau lengua direct el partra yel ol darsel mergit marungo direct leo ventrira tigaru bagar el ang wase ayem la molla lo RPPL 10-29 at 10-40 ma RPPL 10-41 solaya selmomong ede Salvador al time el ulma kikil dibel ngartiang mamtigal adar Olbiil amrek tialurere la yosang angra blur belaura 2020 umura October 1st meng direk man le betoka meeting le betoka okodal daw el adu lo giret al budget din marungo lo ay sirgida adal belaw wasing lo sabel tial luldasol molla el gotmok yakal blo last minute المقتمق لرغراو دودا اندرا سبتمبر دوري يجي تيال ngara September 18 ing asabek المو ساينغري من كلاو توتلل البلو لنغاري a consultation mawil aldadu arrive ra oterga klela yo sangang lakadongi mo midnight hour malube last minute then direkal sabel mo matroba kabelmentri ala kayo sangang setanga ungerung sakal moduli girel ti al budget awaseng balance osis balle laudo maigel bodos peludo amo aterra yel amount el malubeng ul kala udo del gila uk momoit ra al sel ti aliosang tianga cloud to tele Salvador leng al sum mangaria imol tro el belawa proud ringi mo sel ngos klil mo ilak regal batok belur ablul al especially Pacific en sel fact lo asia ablur belawa dia ka deficit ringi ablur bela dia ka bel sel lende qabel sel legid dimla qadat mkliya yo sangar gid lengalak raigel lindoy sraudo del metsois anytime me gadam rura baset el mouding rongor gadam mo takla bel sel de segid ya de qalungil direct mo oito tura tora shobay leng mo meu daudo del moharau ya qabel menta do ngalil wasin tara goter klol okya raigal el shobay mageiza ra blur belam men tial toera balance budget adiakalo beot el mirablur belau le ngara constitution rigit lo aliu lo asia bala yo sangar bela girel balance ungerung en direct el mal ngariam sisi el ula blur belau ada mo kolbus mo batangel mo mulugo da gel udo dal sum kodo mo itaudo del ngalak sel lolgael el de gilt mclira ayo sangang ngal alela Olbiil ngal alela president blol make sure en omgitela udo da otirak la ge del mesoisb maigel mesoisb aterra aigel podo ongoita ese seguir el lomru la malsoal mata aigal erul blai especially tigal chairman ra ways and means ra senate ma house martia vice speaker vice chairman ra ways and means Jonathan Isal ma Vice President, Chairman of Ways and Means Senate, Marudim. Tirgai gidi aku ko role bangel la Minister Elbuchel Sadang. Ekadam la mesa arde el budget longot mok regal la momrek ragal balance el menmu el alsils. Segidi a sogal direct el mgot klil wasen osangam lo mesa tial el budget ra 2010 en direct el mut el mo balance regal la momrek el 7 years. Mang abelaw as el klar ngule momotmok le oltaw taygel girel motmok sel ongede el boy intel sangal mo gut mkli en moduli seng sel guk tungul mora bingel tialudo de segit sel ol morngia klaka bos ma kora debate radolongole del wasen mal telang girel morangarang malube medo de suartiang de ereisei gida gel isul el blo el momring la bebira time que traigets el bebira time en diak ditial budget rel al bangarngi ya sabegel wasen aigel ludo del guk no sbel Olbiil lo taut adidiul dakngel wasen moklaw tutelel ndia mal klaka ro sergid mal uben klaka bos sergid rasen dia al girel mortiang mal uben iti tiang emosisibe angarang aigel moklaw tutelel al banglira other belaw angar al seltial budget of course segar didiul de oren wase gilong lo moklaw aigel bills kamang digiblo lo mesel wase eren ngaria te la supplemental budget so dabei ungila de sis brara raudo edo mesa ma asungyo sinyo mal uben revenue mesois es el dora el moraul bangale la ra que ngaria made el amaterudo de drutel do el angesul morara tial budget 96 million aigel lo tabdal laudo sindringi amomisiora urere la traigel kirel ngaler hospital ma education ma public safety ma igel agencies ra government direct mol ta states ma tok el lurior di insakal mo o dimbre de mil adra medial mo aisra bebira maklol to nga al seltial liosang ako te ngara al sel tial yosang ay del miliol el mo sobakli aurere la pension plan. Pension plan kami ladra mediam la attend ay leadership meeting direct tial issue de al dilo el arak sera al got el muktuba pension plan el mutel ang itegi dar nga song saudo dringi magandang point el digelu do del haraw el mora our beneficiaries am lamo song sraigel contribution sera adel mesois para plan mang dial sabe del merem lolmol mel waisegi del motsuburer ako luspe ako atelgi belobra del toy ndim la udengel masik mi ara mediam le live maktilu lo asetia mal in deep emerald toy dial sabe el mol ma adel di melu sara check el amount ra check el ngario ra balance el ngarabangka mang ayel lam gatmok mel mutel alsil sakot lo sabe la Olbiil klulau el gilngay mentilo daw del gilt meklia special study el ngosera pension plan el mo asingray remu el durul el moral la en sobakli tiang dagdido el tobdaw dergi ra bekra el wal subsidize mal ubeda sobakri sel study la momrek last meeting gamam en global katak lo asig morulia la ra October regular session al rak el mo incorporate malubi ko dosis by gel recommendations sa tial study ruli tial plan mandi mergo el mo o sabe el mo positive e diakal nga negative e mo kamatak lang ari but for this year en mearmudo lo sa Olbiil am la auto del milyon agi kong el wa sa gal del milyon na mo sobaklia atial plan na diakal dile arak maigal at least ay gal maral mel 2-3 years albanglet el ruli mang mo sabe la bek rak ya pension plan na dia kaloko el motobdawdo del mortirgel giril malarti al pension di Salvador sel kotel close to tlel el ngara al selti al recommendation o se a pension plan la di bolos benefit ra al ngara government el merong bol benefit ra ngara private sector ma rogul ad lorora private sector abol sis be bol other tial plan en direct sob cli tial plan ra kamang time ra ay di sila udo del mesois ma direct lo sob cli tial program e angaru e kadam madangel wasing ada sel retire ito gail basen trar ad loror amba dial adra siobay mtumul tuy ra karangir ra pension ultuy la karangir ra social security ultuy la karangir sob cli la health tial health care plan yeyid del el social program sa kot la benefit ra adel lultuira dalang clear ma awil el karangir ra gayid el program mang agi actually tiang aleng tial 3 million el motob da dia kabil tiayid el merong ma kloluro ramra el mera October regular session el mosamel magegut mekling di for now mo kloran dir beklad lo asing dia galbol suburer tial plan arbeklada sabil continue el malaududir lo tirak ramokteger tial pension plan ongerul direct sa dal moduli len klol tokol nga sel tial budget ang esra subsidy mora PUC kambes el altu tau ma eli ma idlis ikadam lian news ra aigel lomlubul mla duba 50% traigel oil production tangra a Saudi Arabia that equals a 5% tra oil output tra blul other rogir ngaramang gire del simbay le arala alu am la spike la arala alu am la murba last news ra 2000 ngara $67 a barrel imoldro mukang tianga kadala la champel kidel adr ngar belaw roy dra ruwa Middle East by the time esel angarira arala lu amergid engel mu tel mal moklol tol the only way gar direct protect gida adr belaw a uspe anges ragablement el gut moklo ay gayid el subsidy ngeso el morar adra blu el mo ulen de kal ngasa arala dengirtir tiayid el lilaqlu do el ngara obera tal miliol el dongul sa PUC sa baakra piusil yung atarimay yung multrok mo masara lalu. Idi la kalonga sa aral na dengira other belaw gida dong ura at tialgo kalbangle del girela renewable energy. Sel tokora renewable energy maluben dengi los pe solar segi del albangle nga ramadala PUC mo endra September tira mo open ay gel bif hopefully mo sabe dan matigra kumbali mo mskida dengi el yasui ra egal arala oil ma fossil fuel dos pere lara ding aktirek ngutalti al Salvador mo ay sila setia de al katngel longot mokriya Olbiil klulau for the last 7 years dirga ka angas aklela arala dengira other belau el ngara den biortir because ay gayid el subsidy pevira time en gadmormeng sakora opting review ra kami war adra simbung wase kami din belula bande de emrang hindi bottom line no ase direct legal litetel maluben revenue sois ra blur belau agire de buk mabis amana de omes ran itut mar citizens ra blur belau make sure the cost of living tira de alborbab lete direct part ra osengel la blur belau ra caring government lo mesel wase ngara de lang Akira. But I agree ra selguk ulasel wase ngire del diakadi the subsidize el merkong kodo si garael ruli overall el costra dengi el continue el merio and I think our renewable energy segida agora permanent but for now in diakaldu ulel kodo spe adengi bu los pe lu so let's subsidize. Finally ang al seltial tokol direct al moduli asel ngeso el mora social security mora model social security Salvador aungil en diakadil bora adra government mangara private sector sel al seltial yosanga mutel toba akme ngar erul miliol el matrangel el mo uleng moriang as aklela ogi makluk ra el mora gel lola arbek el receipt el beneficiary ra abek el buil mang tial luldas wadim la kadil gatbok la lo murira a social security lo asemongas ngongas elo bangela udo del da pastrir seguida direct el clunyolel tial to ndia bol raw renga argil maseng motko ya lu bendia motko ile ngo bangela source revenue mo funderni mang dikmul mersegi de Salvador gidi agora mclol el pelil mal uben tel ti gid el yosang ang mal marmule senators mar delegate sangar tiang mang direct vice al ministry ra te al direct minister Sadang mga tiang minister Sadang ablol dil mo kendi bring laurel ay gel dangi yang ale lo si gaudo de alaka udo de katat mautringi ngari asomiu senate president direct ma dat open ra kerel mer kamiu man ngari asomiu no
ito presidente como senate president ma vice speaker house ma Presidenta Akira Akira sel transmit talagal mara Olbiil sa submit ra budget gamne submit ra $92.9 million tial blood passer niya budget ta 96 selva bilangnya ma kamle wasi kata anticipate because of supply side constraints ra construction ma decrease ra tourism anticipate lower revenue awlang wera kamsada balance budget ya itel final budget from sign niya na increasing by $4 million makwadi okay kalwasi ngara ko ramle change ra yagi lo urum kamno se wasing temla increase and still in balance budget
okay agibl oil la ida agri ngele ruba karang esa lo se kadim spadakal kuma plus ang ngolda kalu beng mongoite el sugum le plus in sebe de lo traigel le plus al ubeng dia in this case kambes en kida tara swadal duli o sing ikan la mo merek rak en dimla ka diblel balance sa budget tergid direct limlaringi surplus. In other words, a revenue a kumlo rwap raigel amount el budget taul to del momot mok. Meng a combination ay gamla mo merek rak in lo sabela Olbiil le la alwase ay gigid rogul surplus ergida tangal mora reserve account ergid lo me kais amrung mal uben kora tara basula amtel mal giredelo. Meng el arrage yes 96 about 4 million meng action na kana budget el al tutaw el amornya das telgib el gora di ongengatel atel yosang endi osisul time en salo ay sirgido sa ulong balance ngaringa udo dra ay gidel kukle surplus ay kan nombre crack nga reserve account and lo sabela Olbiil wasen malmalte e un wil besula do todo del sob clear pension plan ay gida sabela lo mesel wasen albang lela blur belaul atarimado todo do del sob clear un program girira adel belau edi eder se ngungila kadamar tiagi del torture endra calendar year namostat el gorawila sign kambesra il doisra turist el merbelau com la report kadam la murmur tra plus ra il doisra turist ngara shabal mei Taiwan of course amla namo from 2 flights a week mo 4 flights a week January mo 5 flights a week ma direct Korea mo resume ra Korean Air el mei seguit SL airline ra T-Way direct brula charter flights ra Kansai wa Tokyo ra Shabal el May SL airline ra Skymark direct anticipate ngi ma SL charter flight ra Vietnam el May mung all in all agyaw mes ra positive numbers el maral mendi ge mo sois bra atial el SL ra 2020 I think we're optimistic. Wasing sel gotul keluar ngudul positif masang kambestial sencure ablur belaura 2020 sel dom taba tradition sama history and gotul muklo revenue merablemente le siobaya motelgibel betokar okyagarni ma activity that in itself amos pura economy rablu and then egida direct host ra oceans conference tra international event dia kadil sil sadongi mlastat ta construction ma umot maklel ma pre-del audo dra al sel belaw mot mukli sa egida ocean conference so yes mlaringa increase in the I think we can live with the increase kama continue monitor lengaria palesira minister financial all the reserve up to 10% even though ngara la alwase ginsel spend 100 tala minister all di wasendia kum dispenda 90 dala esel 10 dala mal momter sel si atara reason ngaria balance el budget tergi kada all kargik la omngitelaw do
Eli kedel morsel grila kambesra tisa submit sel budget ya le total revenue giblem anticipate 96 million. Egida dimle authorize appropriate 91 million umlarnya over 4 million al model mortal agil tokol omol kori. Sira albora senate ma house ul mang lingilas atyal budget amlo sibir el usel 3 million mora pension plan and this dia kabolola ngi segi del 96 million estimate tam lo mala ngi sel duk mong reserve fund sergi del yang argil el time angara 14 million dollars. Edregal temle authorize appropriate 1.2 million el mora PPUC 500,000 amlora water and sewer ya 800,000 amlora arala dengi ayegi da ul mangilas tel budget terkidal morsegidal 1.2 and the indiregal dirgo within resegidal 96 million dollars el gidamne anticipate el revenue kita mo collect adiregal look ti tel tora pension plan etanga aku dengi gambesel tianga a newspaper Australia me piga aberngi loseng kalangara kalaps tel di sala makataklir morar other belauro ko loset kidam le mangli tel problem ra pension plan na mali da siba mangai Michael Pastali se kadam la in marga bibira do mortal program maria 1250 ra PPF el mo ma revenue ra remittance el direcal mal tel mora pension plan tial 3 million el bladder lil mora pension plan adi mo baigel go president el mo maling ta mars e kita mo address se kita close issues el kita mo el pangarang ma hindi kita soal ko adi eta se kita el basal go dong argel mel mo se kita additional 96 million dollars
directly isakal mo do lil wasia sel budget del cheni Olbiil mora madala president también 96.3 suma presidenta de la gata ngi din ngarangi mo 96 point samel le FAR ngi ngidel mate la 3 million samel de seguir el 3 million a milngara reserve fund mendiak ngara FAR a president mendiak ngara sel 96 lo konia campus projected revenue logiwa local revenue ma 15 million la trust fund ma elam namu dia ali am balance se economic assistant adi ngara 5 million number 5.2 segi dia a make up percent 96 point something adi sokal modo lira segi ludo de mora pension plana suma presidenta asan tem sil mamala 3 million reserve el momsa pension planning direct liora tourism el mamala 1250 Marsumari 100,000 tourists primera FY 2020 at 1250 sea 1,250,000 sea mo bangel 3 million. Di se dia ngara budget le sea almari kli ngara language sa PPF el di malamal mo every 3 months mang. Yes, mal lagi fortunate president tagonge motoba el mogonge with the source of funding is from our general reserve fund that has been accumulated since 2013. How shall I say of Senate agreed that it can agora serve an emergency. It took us to amend the Lula General Reserve. That's in the October del pension plan. With the last minute, I hope in the President. But the President a final version and we discussing it. It's a sign and terrible and House di mo ko ngayon kita kanya obligation na kita 2020 di may authorized only kanya Festival of Arts elected mas paluto sa el mga Honolulu that's close to over $200,000 kanya direct 800,000 na el mga PPUC we need to give it to them so partial loan na October 1st April 1st 2020 regardless what President Tas gili mamlialo ke mamarado maura nada free trade zone pero go forward sila
ngaria wa mola do ade chairman Jonathan Isale gambeseng ali chele gora bulgula togora matmau ngel dia bulgula togor kita other belal mas sele bodola la gale den dia di bol di mekegi ablatinget kada mo magale de me ya bola ke kadul mutel mo kabong any more questions?
Good morning, Mr. President, Minister. My question will be about the budget. A few months ago, there was a call for belt-tightening measures because of the declining arrivals. So, by the end of fiscal year, was there a surplus it was all balanced out. And also, circling back to pension plan, the economic reviews said that subsidies or the diverted tax could pose as a fiscal challenge to the government in the long run. So the subsidy for the pension plan and then the PPUC, how would you control that it will not cause a fiscal challenge to the government?
Thank you for the question. First, the expenditure measures that we took place is so that we can balance the budget at the end of the year. But that one does not affect the year for 2020 because we have some assumptions that tourists will pick up and therefore the revenue that are anticipated for 2020 could be used to balance the budget for 2020. With regards to the subsidy for both PPUC and the pension plan, as you can see for continued discussions, those are part of the overall strategy when we do the budget. We identify whether it's still the needs, and then we balance the budget by appropriating it should be enough money to take care of those while we address them through the other legislation. So yes, it takes it to part of our budget process when we do that.
And then let me just double emphasize 2 points. Our subsidy is not meant to be continuous every year. We recognize that we have to enact legislation this October to support the pension plan in its long-term run. So there will be policies that will be taken into the law that will help to bail the the pension plans, so that we don't need to give them money every year, especially to the amount that we're giving them this year. So that's one. The other, same thing with the PPUC. We don't anticipate to continue to subsidize PPUC every year. We feel that with the enactment and implementation of the renewable energy solar power source, that actually it will mean savings to PPUC, and they can transfer that savings to the people of Palau, and of course the OEK will not have to subsidize them. So those are all long-term things that needs to be done.
Sula, Mr. Presidente, kung nawaisak no sel 3 million in mga pension plan na obomula ngira reserve fund. Ngwangara process album mogiungi sa pension. Ma one-time payment malube kung president kung Mr. process quarterly payment of bolom sa pension.
Dia se request nga gidim still one time le do dam de diakal parte tal local revenue we collect on a daily basis. Hindi mo one time se request rin.
Kamuluay sira earlier, Mr. President, at mo Olbiil am le fund sel actuarial study ra pension plan mgiriul mo rior ngira el selelan mel October. Ang Raikel baby ra umomes nga si study il giril mo tega action rin sa bel mo civility al pension mende avalutan mo o subsidize ngi hindi regal nga rin sel luldasak mo komulsis para private sector mo so isber ngi relan mel October logu sella malube como diler ngi rauriula basic actuarial study.
Kapo delegate ko delegate la committee
me mamra hausa ngilutyal report ra way back on August 6 mang mamra hausa ang anya memol tal kimlikasti adala kamam ang mis kamama overview ngi mang aki yopang it kay the study tal study agota akmulwasing ngire del kaya el 55 al kil murabab agiri el di el oro ragabamente contribute la pension should remain dengan kaya el pension plan as it is today. Lo modelo se defined benefit. mergo leng dimdel meragatire se study direct lawai sulasing propose sulasing gela Olbiil lo mesulasing tial retirement age sigla disbedong sa clean mo 65 se study direct lawai sulasing iguk timlogot tial plan de last time langi gire de langi alla al podoru recommendation am the 8 gire la present la sub clitiang not necessarily mudo zo Imamura bekrak gire de remove la retirement age mo 65 gire el limit tigel 55 ar fir relang obrior yang la system amal mol mengerti sistem mesti option tigel less than 45 la system al utbul murabes in the eventually tigel be SMS sois babol la talla agiril sois bil morsel be system mengsen mo mesringi sado en mo tegelnya kasi eventually mol Iraq from now or 40 years from now namo daktal mutta system al avina selbe system wa igel lo president kadalo ang igel de to da bodolai segi de langa now elat type system bodolu ringi ya guk tergi belanga recommendation tir i.e. the pula saying ada musoyi se type system el mo 3% employee contribution 3% employer contribution emergo ya bese sistema direct monyate alla ada selbong el angel oral sib el mol maigel plal la angelo ya contribution ngi makan contribution a employer mungali ya get recommendation again share the general overview and ngani more specific to la by the pegusbel tagi de Mr. President was a other house already any time upon the core a pension I get recommendation last leadership meeting I give them in the next couple of days formulate the house I'm not prepared our position and I gave the recommendation my get alternative measures and the recommendation of the plan and we give them a size plan so long.
Sorry. Just a follow-up on the pension plan. There's a criticism that the pension plan is not affecting everyone across the board, and yet it's going to be coming from the taxpayers. So, what's your thought on that?
The pension plan started in November 1987, and I never heard the criticism, but I've heard a lot of political talk in the coffee shop saying that, and I don't believe it. But now we finally find out that a lot of Palauans are not. When the plan started, there were more people, Palauans, in the private sector than there were in the government. Now we have reversed. We have more Palauans in the private sector than the one in the government. So as a leader, we start thinking about our own people welfare who are in the private sector, and that's why President is gung-ho and the House is gung-ho, and including the private sector. But be careful about contributions on both employee and employee, not too high, so then we'll bankrupt our local businesses. Shalom.
Just to clarify that there are contributions from the employees themselves, so it's not employees, employer, and what?
Mr. President, I'm going to ask a question not about the budget, but the recent big story regionally, which is the switch of Solomon Islands to China. And some analysts says that it could be a domino effect to other dwindling Pacific allies. So I know that you have been asked these questions over and over again, but with this recent issue, what's the status of your relationship with Taiwan, with Palau and Taiwan?
Is this for the President of the Senate or for me, President of the Republic? For me, I can only speak for Palau. I'm not going to speak for Solomon Islands or for Taiwan because you have to ask them. But I think we've been very straight from day one as to Palau's position on this, and that is we are friends with Taiwan because of principles, of values, of our similar aspirations for peace and democracy and freedom, and those are very important values for Palauan people. So we do know the reality of working with China in the United Nations, and we're doing that also. I think if you recall, many of us leaders have said that if we had a choice, we would be friends with Taiwan and China because that's not our, it was not our intention to divide friends and label people non-friends, you know. But it's their political debate, but President Nakamura started the relationship with Taiwan, and so far we've had an amicable, workable relationship. Like every relationship, we can always discuss and plan for improvements and how to better coordinate and how to better cooperate. But we have yet to find out really why Solomon switched. They keep talking about some assessment or feasibility report. We'll be very happy to see what made them change their mind, because as far as we know, those 6 Pacific Island nations who are friends with Taiwan have been cooperating with Taiwan.
Good morning, Mr. President. Guam recently declared a state of emergency to solve the dengue problem. So I want to ask if Palau is considering the same.
Well, we have our own health policy that any time in a given month that there are more than 10 cases of epidemic flus, in this case the dengue, then the minister considers it an epidemic and it's like an emergency. So we've been doing everything, to try to control the problem. And there's a community cleanups all over Palau. The minister is actually canceling his trip to the United Nations so that he can continue to monitor our local and community efforts to clean up the environment and make it more. So we take this seriously. The good news, and if I may clarify this to the media, is we keep emphasizing the number of accumulated cases, which can be over 500 but that's not the reality presently. If you went to the hospital today, there's 3 patients who are confined because of dengue fever. There's not 500 people afflicted with dengue fever. That's a total since December of last year. So a lot of them have already taken medicine. They're cured. They're walking around. They're healthy. They're no longer 500. So yes, we take it seriously, but the reality is there's only 3 inpatients at the hospital, and we will continue to monitor the monthly total, because as long as it's above 10, it's considered an epidemic. But if it's under 10, then we've always had mosquito before, and even in Guam they always have mosquito, and and marshals and everywhere. But that's the nature of these things.
Regarding the dengue, so we've learned that there was a push to declare a state of emergency, but it was shut down. I don't know how true is that, and that.
Well, wait. I don't think that's fair. Nobody ever shut down a state of emergency. I told you, the hospital has already declared that this is an epidemic situation because it's over 10. That's an in-house regulation and a policy. So that's why we're organizing meetings with the governor. If this was not an epidemic case, we wouldn't be calling community cleanups or something. So I don't know how you call it, but we're already doing a lot of things.
And the tourism industry need not to be alarmed because there was a like a warning from PVA regarding or caution or alert regarding the dengue situation in Palau because there had been 2 cases of visitors that came from Palau and then went to Guam, and then the case of dengue in Guam was from, at least 2 of them was from visiting Palau.
There will always be cases of risk when you come to Palau, or if Palauans went to Guam, or visitors came to Palau. The good example of this is the SARS. The tour, we didn't create the SARS, but we were also prone and susceptible to. So this is a regional collaboration. We're hoping that every neighbor in the Micronesia, we will all take precautions to combat this problem. But like I said, if you can also explain that it's not 500 people afflicted with this disease right now, people will not be so afraid. There's 3 patients in the hospital afflicted with this. The rest are already doing their normal lives since December of last year. So it's really, it makes a big difference when you tell people there are 500 people with dengue fever in Palau. They'll be scared. I'll be scared too. But it's not 500 people. That's the total from December till now, and many of them are walking around the town already. Well, as I said, there's 3 people as of this morning in the hospital with dengue cases, and I'm sure they're treating them, and hopefully in the next day or 2 they'll be released.
Sula, Mr. Presidente, kung atia Senate Presidente Mutigalas, paisbigema, ngari anusul directivo del Girela, inhumane, el confinement al Elbuchel, el gortam na tobdia mirel Girela al tobda al Elbuchel, mendalong sin retira away gidel heal mal maknitra kladra, o tembela la arbela madik la kladra gida adel. Tial utum ngal de suil gerel tial blela gal busra namo togol time gregri la place tia dagal gerel adal gal busra ngil waise indi bulisa mel mol ngal busra adal alse
Mama amle holda hearing at tial budget back to last month the Minister Sadang amle egoltal dagi mesanga audo el tobo del mora talbiar galbus ngara ebula sing izay esar malgayok esar talbes ay gamna momrek level ede fiscal year or for fiscal year in toda $500,000 more shay ngagal magal mbol no mesring sel playa about the 80% ringing musul galbus mo pulmor nyak engineer and my position is that damdam malia uriol girela SBR galbus na authorize and appropriate $500,000 for every year for the past few years. President, magayulagera minister saying construction is under the Koradi Stempa Mululu. Hopefully we can do what we have, treat our prisoners humanly possible. Indeed, we have an election coming next year. Tilatara pa tapikil. Sebenarnya mo kira ada more mutlasi. Tiang komsisibing komekturing with intelligation nomor telar kalbusan namu pun mo. Sila. Aku dah sekarang ngal delegat tapi low lang alam.
Yeah, in short, Salvador, I think in Proctutlel, the agree was there's room for improvement. So mamloro lo bangela gargari ma abli la police make sure that the address ay gidel. Tell inhumane you can define it from A to G was in constitute inhumane. The bottom line was whatever treatment the respecter deserve a fair and justifiable treatment. A lot of it as physical la police also improve wayagidal kada mortal besel la police to kayagidal guk physical the address we bila sabel guk ngara rex ma policies ma treatment morar ada ya the sabel within our power to improve di ki recognize sabakring and I think it's important the ngil was kada role address ayagidal el problem.
Sila, Mr. Presidente, ramna miso iswengela ambasador Abdullah Shabale.
Halle megu nitra tigal teru chairman merba di metti.
Kaya Presidente, natmokering mo sa yung sel budget 2020, long October 1st. Gagawin masayang rin Chairman Winston Min sa Geltablan Blara, Olbiil la sioning rin labang gala Minister of Finance, mga delegate kung ibawrangan lang ito.
Thank you, Mark.
Presidente na sa yung budget.
Attendance 42. Amount ringi lang 75 million. I'm sorry, 95. 95 million. Salvador, take that isok al moduli. Agi with the consultation I got lerul blay. Agi wasem ere gidetia lomesra clolte lela supplemental happen next year. We are agi klarang mamlo asing moria te lela supplemental. So at least for now gidim molgit ra understanding ra I got state governments magidim lekata 50% raigel angaritir originally 50,000 mlorabek state digama mo se let 25,000 el bolda lela ayo sangartir elang gido do mesa telel sel other half ra supplemental al sugo maari mang al dakyala yo sanga mang telme 95,000 and the mlesegi de sene president ayel kwamle area arrest di possible digi mal lolngite anticipate ate alela cook additional supplemental motor okay ela we have a few minutes remaining I'm very happy was ambassador Shabal Amlami joiner gid at the press conference. This is the first time, Ambassador, in the history of our press conference that a Japanese, that an ambassador of any country joins us for. But of course, this year is also the 25th anniversary of our special relationship with Japan. So not only is it our independence, but 25th anniversary, but it's also anniversary of our 25th diplomatic relations with Japan. And I'm happy that the ambassador is able to join us. Let us give him the opportunity to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everyone. I would like to thank the President's office for kindly giving me this opportunity to announce Japan-Palau 25th year anniversary related events at today's press conference. Before I begin, let me introduce Dr. Keisuke Imamura, sitting here, who has long been researching Japanese originated Palawan words. Recently, he has put together his studies into a dictionary here, you see, which he will be announcing later on. As the President mentioned now, Japan and Palau are celebrating the 25th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations this year. Accordingly, some related events, such as the official anniversary logo, this is the logo, logo competition, and the Ikebana workshop have already taken place in the past month. In addition, Embassy recently released an official 25th anniversary movie titled Japanese Originated Palawan Words on YouTube, in which President Remengesau and former Japanese Minister for Foreign Affairs Kono, as well as myself, took part in the movie. This movie was made by reference to one of Dr. Imamura's books, which contained the Japanese originated Palawan words vocabulary list. If you have not seen the movie, please look at it through Embassy's website, Facebook page, or YouTube. In addition, today I would like to announce the 3 expected anniversary events in the coming months, which will take place in Palau. Firstly, in the evening of October 10th, the Embassy of Japan will implement the official 25th year anniversary event at the Garamayon Cultural Center. This event will take place coinciding the port call of Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, or JMSDF, training Skaldon from October 8th to 11th. This port call of JMSDF is the first time in history. In this event, a concert by JMSDF brass band team, Japanese drum performance, karate performance by the trainee officers, and awarding ceremony of the Grand Cordon of the Order of the Rising Sun to Mr. Billy Cuarte, is expected to take place on stage. Furthermore, JICA volunteers will be introducing their daily activities. Photo panels of Japanese economic assistance to Palau in the past 25 years will be exhibited, and its movie will be showcased at the venue. In addition, during the training Skaldon's port call, goodwill events such as sports exchanges are expected to take place between the trained officers and people of Palau. And secondly, on November 24th, the Embassy of Japan, co-sponsored by PVA and other organizations, will host Enka concert at Garamayon Culture Center once again. Enka is a popular Japanese music genre considered to resemble traditional Japanese music stylistically. As a trace of the Japanese administration from 1914 to 1945, Japanese Enka music is still popular in Palau today, as you may know. As I often hear Misora Hibari songs on radios, Furthermore, a number of Palauan songs have Enka-like melody or Palauan lyrics added to the original Japanese song, as seen in the famous song Kimeta. Since Enka is rooted culture in both countries, Embassy would like to organize a special Enka concert to realize the strong bonds between the two countries and also to renew its friendship. Therefore, we have invited a very well-known Japanese Enka singer to take part in this event. Unfortunately, I cannot announce the name of the singer at this moment. It's very top secret. But she, not he, she is a singer that has been invited to sing in Kohaku Utagassen, which is very well known in our country. It's a New Year's Eve TV program in Japan for the past 2 years. The singer is to be announced sometime next month. Finally, at the end of this year, Japan-Palau Goodwill Yacht Race will be held for the first time, organized by Japan-Palau Goodwill Yacht Race Committee. This event is implemented in commemorating the 25th anniversary of Japan-Palau relations, as well as Palau's 25th independence anniversary, and also 160th anniversary of the opening of Yokohama port in Japan. Opening ceremony of the race will take place on December 28th, which on the same day, youth OP dinghy race will be held, inviting youth sailors from Palau. The selection of Palauan youth to attend this youth OP dinghy race in Japan will take place on September 29th in Palau. The official yacht race from Yokohama to Palau will begin on December 29th, and sailors are expected to arrive in Palau in the first 2 weeks in January 2020. The awarding ceremony is to be held on January 15th at Malacca. The actual day when the two governments established diplomatic relations is November the 2nd. Therefore, on November the 12th, in Japan, I have heard that a big reception is going to be hosted by Palauan Embassy in Japan. Embassy of Japan hopes that aforementioned these events will further enhance the good relationship between our two countries, and thus we would like to welcome all the citizens to come and join the events. If you have further questions for each event, please ask the embassy staff. She's there later on. Now, I will pass the microphone to Dr. Imamura to introduce his newly published dictionary. Thank you very much.
My name is Keisuke Imamura. Thanks for the introduction, Ambassador. And it's my pleasure to introduce my newly published book, A Dictionary of Japanese Loanwords in Palauan. I have 3 copies, so I can pass it around. So let me introduce you the background of this dictionary and also the content of the dictionary. So I have been doing a research in Palauan, Japanese language influence on Palauan. And as you know, Japanese language influence in Palau many ways. All Japanese speakers, and maybe some of you have Japanese names. And but among all the influence, particularly the Japanese loanwords are getting a lot of attention by Palauans because it's in everyday language. You use Palauan every day, and you can see the Japanese language influence in Palauan language. So I started a project with the Palau Language Commission to start a built Japanese loanwords dictionary. One of the purposes because that to record all the Japanese loanwords in Palauan, because the previous dictionary by Louis Josephs only contains about half of the Japanese loanwords in Palauan. So I started collecting all the Japanese loanwords, and now in this dictionary, about more than 1,000 Japanese loanwords is collected. And And also, another purpose of making these dictionaries is to be used in Palauan language education. Because I think Palauan language is changing right now with the influence of English. I think younger people are using more English and English loanwords. So the Palauan language is not the same as before, changing slowly. And I think some younger people don't understand many of the Japanese loanwords. So the second purpose of this dictionary is to use it in education. So a dictionary is like this, has a lot of pictures and meanings, and also the example sentence in Palauan and English translation. And I have printed about 500 copies, and it will be given to Ministry of Education. And Ministry of Education will be distributing it to all the schools in Palau. And also, I have conducted teacher training how to use this dictionary. At the back of the book, I have included some ideas how to use the dictionary in education, some fun activities for younger students and also older students. So that all the Palauan teachers have some ideas how to utilize the dictionary in Palauan language education. And I have conducted the teacher training with about 20 Palauan language teachers, and I have received a positive response, and they all said they can utilize it, and it will be good for Palauan language education. So hopefully this will be a good help for Palauan language education in regard to relationship with Japan, history of Japan, and so on. So, as I said, the 500 copies are printed, but it's on its way to Ministry of Education. It will take about 3 months to arrive in Ministry of Education, and it will be distributed and it will be used in Palauan language education.
Thank you, Minister, and your people, especially for sharing the events and the planning of those undertakings that will showcase our special friendship and relationship. We certainly welcome all the activities that have been planned. And let me say, I have seen the video of the Japanese words used in Palau. It's a very omoshiroi, very interesting video. And really, if anything at all, it really signifies the reality that so many Japanese words have been incorporated into the Palauan language, so that many of our generations are actually using them on an everyday basis. And you have to kind of tell them that this is a Japanese word, not a Palauan word. But it's been integrated into our language and usage of our language, and I think it just goes to show the history and the interaction of our two countries before, during, and after the war. And I want to thank you for that. And I just want to say, like some words like oishi and Denwa and Senkyo and all of these are already so integrated in our language that people don't think twice about using them. But anyway, we do look forward to all the activities that have been planned to showcase our special friendship. Yeah. Thank you, Ambassador. Meda conclude the recognized Herring Iraiwet, Division of Facelift and Maintenance, Francis James, Support Services, Sheila Pedro, Public Health Nursing, Maria Simer, Election Commission, Jean Harmulbay, Palau EQPB, J. Van Emisio, PNOC, Clever Philibert, Special Special Personal Holiday Tirel, Amakadawring around Wilson. Salvador, te nombre Friday the 13th, in the regal malmle klo island-wide clean-up rablur belau akmal ngutal te alam tera president ng Senate ma vice speaker house eling Olbiil klulau ma private sector ma business ma government tamlot mag even my state government or ma bebira states amlot mag partner mleklo orior got clean mngigi da ablur belau. This is the good news. Dimlakal sal betok plastic bakal moke. So I think Senate President ng ngungil sign alwasing lao mo maral mo mora ko akser kita other belaw mngigi dra mawari gid man dekal batika mal betokol ko mi luang ramong. So Tiatara urior legal olgum kamo maliwet teme di tedob atutunge me kabay omrota ndi adawa si kaman nom saul namagegi atutu. I think it's a good thing yak mrenga sulir arbeklat. With that, that's Maria press conference next week. Sulang.